Hey, it's Todd with TLF Works, and today I'm going to be starting a pen blank pen kit collaboration with Robert from Crosscut Creations. Robert and I have decided to each make a pen blank, send that pen blank to the other turner, and then that turner will make a pen from that pen blank. So today I'll be making that pen blank for Robert. Hope you stick around. So today we're going to be making this pen blank, and we're going to be using a couple of pieces of some curly walnut that I have, some Alumilite that I had cast, that's a blue and red. I know that Robert lives in the like the Cleveland Indians baseball team area, and so blue and red are their colors, and so I had some of this that I had cast previously, and I thought I would use it. Let me tell you about that right now, actually. So when I started casting, I always ended up mixing up resin, pouring it into a pen blank, and then having extra resin left over. My brother said, well, why don't you make a little mold that you can use, that you can cast leftover resin into if you need it, if you have leftover resin. So I created, I 3D printed something and then made this silicone mold. And then when I cast a pen blank or something, and in the case of this, I had cast something for a bowl, but when I'm doing a casting and I have something left over, I'll take it and I'll pour it into these molds. And the idea is that this mold will give you the pieces that you would want for putting an accent strip in the middle of a pen blank, and pieces on the end of a pen blank. So the little segmenting pieces that you would need to do a segmented pen blank. So today I'm going to use this, so we'll have this down the middle of our pen blank with the walnut on each side, and then we'll cut this to length. I'll pick out a nice part of this walnut. We'll cut that to length, and then we'll segment onto it each end one of those little segments. We won't need all four of them, so I'll save those for later. We'll segment those onto the end and then cap that with another piece of walnut on each end. And then between each of the segments, we'll use a little dyed black veneer. I bought this 3 square foot pack a year and a half ago. I've made like 10 pens. I probably have half of it left over. So that's my plan. We will be making this blank sized for a Zen pen kit. And you can see I got this pen kit at Turner's Warehouse. If it focuses. I don't know, maybe it's focused. You can see that the total length of the pen tube is shorter than my accent piece. So I'm going to go ahead and glue this accent piece together, segment it together with these pieces of walnut, and then we'll trim this to size based on how big the end caps get. We're going to go over to my my bandsaw, and we're going to cut these down to this size to segment. All right, here's our main pieces. They're going to go together. Like that. Let's make this part first. Okay, so we're going to need 2 strips of this black. We're going to need 2 of those as well, so we can use this piece. Got to be careful cutting across that grain. Light pressure here so you don't pull this veneer apart. I just sort of scored it. I'll just bend at that score. So we're going to have that. Here's a piece I can get a square out of. Just gotta be careful cutting across the grain. Close enough for government work. Need 4 of these pieces. So let's look at how this is going to go together. We'll have a veneer, then the blue accent, veneer, and maple on each side. So it'll sandwich together like that. We're going to use Stick Fast CA Thin and the Stick Fast activator. I put down some blue tape on a little piece of plywood. I want a nice flat surface, and I want to be able to clean up this glue because we're going to use a lot of super glue. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a clamp on each end of this. Take a little wax. Spread that wax on these try to keep that CA from sticking so bad. I'm trying to make sure it's as flush to the bottom as possible. And I'm going to drench it in CA. What I want to happen is I want that veneer to soak that stuff in. I want good pressure. Alrighty, let's just touch these up. Let's get it nice and square and pretty. Okay, we're going to use our pin sizing jig. I'm going to set the stop here. Okay, so I set the stop up to where the jig is just shy of the blade. So, when you put the pin tube in, it's moved the jig over the distance of the pin tube, and this will be the size of the pin tube plus just a little bit of space, right? It'll be just a little long, giving us some room to trim. We're making a segmented pin, so our pin tube needs to be our main blank here. The piece that we need out of this needs to be the length of that pin tube minus the 4 accent pieces and the 4 pieces of veneer. So if I stack those in there, that's our length we need. Let me square up an end. Now, I'll get it where I want it. Gonna hold it here and make my cut. I'm well away from the blade. This stack of stuff is the length of the pin tube, plus just a little extra off of each of those that we'll trim off later. Okay, that should have left us with this centerpiece of the blank that once assembled will be slightly longer than our pen tube. Let's glue it up. We're going to use this little rockler clamp. All right, I have the accent pieces on the ends clamped up. We're going to soak these. Okay, we'll let this set for a minute, then we'll go over to the sander and we'll clean it up. Let's square this thing up a little bit. Okay, so finished up the blank. Here it is. So it's got that walnut. It's a nice grain in the walnut. Hopefully it's going to show through on a pen well. It's good color blue and the red looks good in it. So I think I'm pretty happy with it. Anyway, like I had said before, Robert over at Crosscut Creations is making one for me and going to send it to me, so I'll get this shipped off to him right away, and hopefully he likes it. Hopefully I did a good job and it's not going to blow up or something. I made it a little bit longer than the tube, you know, just like a 1/16 of an inch on each end or something, right? So the idea is you drill it out, then you can trim up. So if there's a little bit of blowout or something on the ends, there's some room for trimming once you put the barrel in it, right? So the tube, right? Once you put the tube in there. So thanks for sticking with me. I really appreciate it. It's crazy. I've got like 535 subscribers now or something. It's nuts. Congratulations to Robert, who when I was making this had just crossed 1,000. Like just hit 1,000 subscribers. Remarkable job he does over there. A lot of fun stuff there. So thank you again. I hope you'll subscribe to my channel. I hope you like the video and give it a thumbs up. And maybe even share it. So take it easy. Have a good day, and I'll talk to you later.